Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. It's Thursday night, and you know what that means. It's time for your TNA Event Center Wrestling Report. And now here's the man to give you that report, Mr. Eric M. Lima.
Thank you very much, Mr. Announcer, sir. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977, episode 1536 of the show. What's going on? What's happening? I hope you guys are having a wonderful, blessed day. And as we approach the weekend, the Whale City Festival will be happening this weekend, but weather doesn't look very promising, especially Friday and Saturday. I'm going to try to do my best to see if I can try to bring you some festival action. But then again, the weather people could be very wrong about this weather. We'll know for sure what will happen tomorrow and Saturday. So I know Sunday's supposed to be a hot one. So I got my car fixed up, ready to go. All I gotta do is tomorrow after work just go to a garage that has the inspection sticker thing and do it there and get that ready to go. Get that out of the way, and we shall be good. So, but we're going to talk about what happened on TNA. It's past a few minutes ago. It took place in Philadelphia. The Nemeth brothers confront Frankie Kazarian about who jumped Nick Nemeth last week, and then Nick fights Kazarian. And then the Knockouts title open challenge by Jordan Grace began, and accepting the challenge, it was none other than NXT's Izzy Dame, who had the height advantage in this matchup, but Jordan Grace ended up retaining the title. Meanwhile, beforehand, George Iceman, the personal concierge for Ash by Elegance, has stated that she is watching the matchup via satellite and sipping on some drinks, celebrating her 4th of July, so to speak, and seeing Jordan Grace win the matchup. Meanwhile, during the matchup, though, Rosemary was harassing George Iceman during the matchup, and Jordan Grace ended up winning the matchup. Santino Marella, the TNA Director of Authority, has decided to put together a wild card matchup. A wild card tag team matchup. On one team will be Josh Alexander and Joe Hendry against world champion Moose and Steve Macklin. Zachary Wentz went one-on-one with Charlie Dempsey, and during the matchup, Miles Bourne got involved during the matchup, giving Dempsey the victory over Zachary Wentz. And the system addresses being very dominant and as trying to make sure that they stay as champions. Santino Marella confronts the No Quarter Catch crew as Tavion Heights joined in and says you're going to have a 6-man tag next week. It'll be the Rascals and a partner from our world. So I don't know if the Rascals will make an exception and request that Wesley join forces with them. I know the Rascals and MSK Rascals got a tag team 6-man tag against Gallus next Tuesday. Well, we shall see. Meanwhile, a triple threat match for the number one contendership for the X Division title held by Mustafa Ali as Kushida faces Jonathan Gresham and Mike Bailey, and Kushida found a counter to Jonathan Gresham's attempted to ink him again, since Octopus has been known to do that. But in the end, Mike Bailey ended up winning the matchup, and then Campaign Singh and Mustafa Ali attacked Trent Seven to get at, Mike Bailey. So that's how much of a jerk Mustafa Ali is. He is, So there's that. Steph DeLander was hanging out at a beach addressing PCO. And I'll tell you one thing. You know, PCO, heck of a matchup, and where am I bleeding? Anyways, um, anyways, trying to figure out where I'm bleeding with. So, anyways, where am I? I'm lost here. Yeah, Steph DeLander addresses PCO, and looks like she's starting to fall in love with PCO. She says she's come back. She went back to Australia to tie up some loose ends, and then probably focus on PCO. Rhino took on AJ Francis one-on-one, a non-title matchup, and AJ Francis roasted Rhino before the matchup. Red Swan gets involved during the matchup, earning Rhino the victory by disqualification. And Santino Marella comes out and says, let's change this thing into a street fight, a Philly street fight. Excuse me. And it'll be for the digital media title. Street fight happened, and AJ Francis low blow Rhino, wins the match with ease. But the lights went out, and PCO shows up after the lights went back on and brawls with Francis. And the matchup between AJ Francis and PCO will be for both the digital media and the international heavyweight title. Even though AJ Francis bought the belt, Santino Marella decided to make a defense for Slammiversary. Giselle Shaw took on Tasha Steelz, with Shaw was being attacked by Steelz before the bell, but despite that, in the end, Giselle Shaw won the matchup. And then Gia Miller interviewed Zaya Brookside about the competition and the Knockouts division. And Chris Bay, accompanied by Ace Austin, took on JDC. That's Johnny Dango Curtis, for those of you guys keeping score. The system arrived at ringside and got involved towards the end of the matchup. Ace Austin tried to fight him off while Brian Myers was busy. Ace Austin, Eddie Edwards distracted Chris Bay, giving JDC the victory in that matchup. Then, and then finally, the main event, the wild card mixed tag match explained earlier. Joe Hendry, say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. In London and Paris and Tokyo. Okay, I'll do it again. I believe in Joe Hendry. Wave your arms side to side. I botched the home music. Sorry, Joe Hendry, if you're watching this. My voice is not up to par. Anyways, during the matchup, Hendry was addressing Moose, Dancing Moose, and Steve Macklin talking about bag him and tag him. And also before the match, Frankie Kazarian arrives to join on color commentary, and Frankie Kazarian is running his mouth about Joe Hendry, and then he decides to get involved during the matchup. You know, Hendry gets distracted. Josh Alexander gets shoved right into Hendry and ends up, Macklin ends up picking up the victory for his team. And then Macklin's holding on to the title, looking at it, but then Moose yanks it away from him. And they kind of like a little tense stare down. So, we shall see about how that went out and how that went. So, Slammiversary not right around the corner, man. Let me tell you, for these TNA stars, it's going to be insane. Well, that's all the time we have on this show. As you know, tomorrow will be the game of Strategy, Luck, Knowledge, and Daring Bullseye. And hopefully, I will bring you a report, a Friday report, from the Whalen City Festival. Hopefully, there will be a festival. And if the weather, they say it's going to rain tomorrow and Saturday, but then again, you never know. So, thank you for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And until the next episode comes rolling around, Mr. Announcer, please take us home.
That is all for today's episode. This is your announcer speaking for Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. A Big Beefy E, doing for Bob Saget Productions, and in association with a Raven Bofa Telepictures and Distribution. Thank you for watching today's episode. Tune in next time for another episode of Eric Lima Shenanigans of 1977. Goodbye for now.